We've changed, we're strangers. I'm meeting you in the woods. Oh my, what dangers! I know we'll get past the woods. And once we're past, let's hope the changes last.
Oh, you guys. All right, this was the reason for the trip. That was actually Sebastian Arcelus and Stephanie J. Block as the baker and the baker's wife in Into the Woods that I saw today. And I came to New York. So those of you that keep up with my stuff, no, wait a minute. You just saw Into the Woods like in July, and I did. And of course, as often happens, it's like 2 weeks after I saw it and I'm home, then it is announced that they are extending the run, and two of my biggest heroes, I don't want to say the word obsessions, but Stephanie J. Block and Sebastian Arcelus are announced that they're going to be in Into the Woods. I think that started in September. And I said, well, I have to see it again. I follow everything they do in social media. I've seen Stephanie J. Block in many of her Broadway shows. I listen to her podcast. She has a great podcast called Stages. So here's the thing. I'm thinking about doing a kind of a series here on my videos, because I got some feedback that, hey, it's months in between videos and you forget about me. So I think I'm going to do one on divas. And Stephanie J. Block will probably be the first one, because I don't know, I feel like I kind of came into a lot of my knowledge and stuff as she was making her mark on Broadway. So her Broadway debut was in The Boy from Oz, which people always ask me what is my favorite show that I've ever seen. I've seen almost 240 musicals now on Broadway. I can never answer, except I always say The Boy from Oz is in the top 10. I saw the show 14 times, and it was her Broadway debut. She played Liza Minnelli. Interesting fact, so Into the Woods, this production, they keep changing the cast. They keep bringing different celebrities, Broadway celebrities, in and out to play different roles. It's a really cool concept. And the new Cinderella, who's playing Cinderella in Into the Woods, is Krista Rodriguez, who I saw in Spring Awakening, and I've seen her in multiple things. Also, she played Liza Minnelli in the, is it Netflix that did Halston? That did the series on Halston. And Krista Rodriguez, played Liza. And Stephanie J. Block's Broadway debut was playing Liza. And of course, you guys know I'm a humongous Liza fan. So anyway, it's just interesting the way those things work. So let me talk about Into the Woods, because let me tell you what, and I'm going to talk more about Stephanie J. Block and her career and the impact she's had on me, because she really has. She's a performer who puts it all out there. And there are performers who have this incredible talent, and you watch them perform, and you go, wow, they're so good. And they can move you, and they touch you, and they're great. And then you have performers who you see their soul. You see them. And she's a performer like that. And it means a lot to me. So I'm going to talk about her later. Her partner, her lover, her husband, her everything is Sebastian Arcelus. A lot of you might know him. He was in the TV shows Madam Secretary. He was like her main political guy, and then he became her. He was in that series a lot, and actually Stephanie J. Block played his wife in that series. and they got a divorce and all. Which anyway, and then he also was in House of Cards. Um, they actually met in on the first national tour of Wicked. He did Fiyero. Um, I've never seen Sebastian on stage, and today was his final performance. She's still in the show for more, but he has another obligation, so he's out of the show after today. Brian Darcy James, who I saw play the Baker, is coming back. But I want to talk about he just really, I don't know, maybe because it was his last performance. I don't like to think that. I think it was every performance was like this. He brought something to the Baker that I have never seen. And I love the role. I love the part of the Baker. He brought a quirkiness and a nerdiness um, that is cool, even though he's not. I mean, really, it's like he just was again very real and very honest, and showed us this man who is in Act One on a quest to have a child, and he gets confused and he missteps, and then he's got this wife who is powerful and strong, and he loves. And the second act is where Into the Woods goes to a whole other level. It really does, and I love the show, and I it's right up there for me with Company and Sunday in the Park with George. That I know this show. I can quote this show. I can sing every role. Not well, but I know it. And yet today, it impacted my heart more than it did even back in July. So much stood out for me in this show. Please come see Into the Woods, even though Sebastian is gone. And I wanted to say so I'm not going to worry about spoiler alerts, you guys. I'm just going to tell the story. And again, and I'm going to talk about Stephanie J. Block's performance another time because wow. All right, you guys, any moment, this is the moment in the woods. But then she gets killed. The giant steps on her. And he's left alone. And he runs away. And then he runs into his father, who he thinks is dead. Are we ever really? And there's a beautiful scene in a song called No More that I love the song. No more quests, no more curses you can't undo, left by fathers you never knew. No more tests. The way that Sebastian Arcelus presented that song, the rawness, the realness, was so. The emotion was palpable. You could touch it. You could smell it. You could see it. You could feel the emotion in that song and the angst in his heart. The tears were real. And I don't know that I've ever seen that type of emotion from a Baker in that song, ever. When he then comes back and does No One Is Alone, the quartet, you see the change. He's becoming different. And the entire musical really took on a different light for me. Yes, I've always been moved by the song Children Will Listen. I've always been moved by what the show is. But here's something I got out of it today. Be careful what you wish for. Do you know what you wish? Are you certain what your wish is what you want? That's Cinderella's mother, who's in a tree, who sings that. But you have to be clear about your wishes, and you have to really know what your wish is, because, and this statement, opportunity is not a lengthy visitor. And I'm looking back on the last couple years of my life, and I'm like, wow, there were some missed things that I didn't see. And I didn't seize. Um, and so, and I wonder if part of that is because I'm not sure of my wishes. That's where I'm at right now. I'm not sure what I wish. There you go. I mean, the easy wish for me is I know I don't want to come home tomorrow. I want to stay in New York City and see every single show on Broadway over and over and over again. That's not a job. That's not my reality. That's my escape and my vacation, and I love it and I enjoy it and I sacrifice for it and I do without so that I can do this, and I'm so thankful that I can. But what else do I wish? You know, what else do I want? And so this show really touched me, and a lot of that had to do with Sebastian Arcelus's performance of this role, the baker. Look, when I first saw this musical back in the 80s, I saw it. PBS had a production of it, and it was on videotape. And it was one of the first Sondheim shows I saw. And I, I wanted to be the baker. Most people did, unless you were tall and gorgeous and could sing a tenor. Then you wanted to be the prince. Which, by the way, the princes today were played by Gavin Creel and Andy Carl, who I just love both of them. I really, really do. Andy Carl is just so. The man has not had his right break yet. I mean, he's had some great roles. He was the lead in Groundhog Day, in Rocky, in Pretty Woman, but he just hasn't done it. And he's so talented, and he has such a strong, great presence and voice. And the two guys just, they hammed it up with the Prince's songs, Agony, Whoo, oh, I mean, it just, they were so funny, and you're just sitting there, going, oh, and they're so yummy to look at. And yeah, but for guys like me, it wasn't them. It was the bakers who I wanted to be and who I identified with, and the songs I wanted to sing. And Sebastian brought a whole different side to the baker that I, I don't know. I don't want to say I never knew was there. I don't feel it was ever fully explored the way he explored it. Um, and it was gorgeous. And I think part of it was also because he was playing opposite his partner. I have to imagine that brings something special to the experience and to the research and the discovery and the putting together these characters. I found a YouTube clip of the two of them doing their song from Into the Woods, It Takes Two. And I'm going to end the theater talk with Scott listening to a little bit more of that. This was my last trip. I have a video recording of Kimberly Akimbo, the show that I saw Saturday evening. I haven't posted it yet. I want to listen to it. I don't listen to these videos. I just post them. And I want to listen to that one again before I post it. I want to be responsible. It was a great show. A fantastic show. Kimberly Akimbo. Huge reviews. Go see it. Thumbs up from me. Along with, if you didn't get to see Sebastian and Stephanie, you missed that, but you haven't missed Into the Woods yet. It's continuing on, I know, through the end of the year. Stephanie is in it to the end of the year. It's got a great cast. Go see it.
lies. Safe at home with our beautiful prize. Just a few of us, it takes trust. It takes just a bit more and we're done. We want four, we have none, we got three. We need one.
It takes two. Into the Woods. Go see it.